What is up, beautiful people? Happy Friday, happy Saturday, whatever day you guys are watching this. It is Charlotte for the Week, season number 2, episode number 8. Very excited. Game number 6. All these kind of numbers coming up. Yep, already there. We're kind of getting into the meat now. Obviously, no recap this week. If you guys watched or follow along weekly, like I'm sure all of you do out there, last week Charlotte FC and the entire MLS was off due to the international break. Already kind of did the recap with the episode with Billy. Shout out Billy, love that episode with you, buddy. But yeah, no other recaps because there were no games this week. So shorter episode maybe, depends on how our conversation goes, I guess. But yeah, we'll jump right into, I guess, Charlotte for the week, news for the week, that is. And Brian, got anything for us?
Yeah, only a little bit of Charlotte news is that our captain, Tim Ream, captained the U.S. men's national team to a loss against Belgium. They started off the first half playing well. The second half was a mess. Terrible. It was awful. Tim Ream had a couple of mistakes that led to some goals. There's a little bit of chatter about that, but one positive note was our guy Patrick Agyemang. I'm still claiming him as a Charlotte FC
till
player.
the day he dies, buddy.
So does he.
Scored another international goal, his 6th in his international career. So I'd love to see Pat do well and make the World Cup roster.
Hopefully we'll see him calling tonight.
I hope so. Yeah, like I said, he came in and only played about 20 minutes, and obviously it was a pretty gifted goal, to be fair, but at the same time he took it well. Yeah, counts the same, still a goal, but yeah, 5-2 loss was not fun to watch on Saturday, I will say that. We are filming this actually as the U.S. men's national team is playing Portugal, so hopefully good vibes from that come, and we can get a W tonight. We'll see with Ream back out there. But yeah, not a great game there. Other news for the week was not a lot like transactionally, but some comments made by Zoran, our GM. He had a very poignant, I would say, interview. I can't remember with who the source was. I think it was The Athletic, if I'm not mistaken. But essentially, yeah, just kind of going in and saying like, hey, we want to build Charlotte FC the same way that Seattle Sounders built their club. And his reasoning behind that was, well, we can't really attract stars to Charlotte. No stars want to come to Charlotte. Of course, Dino, they did ask Dino, I think it was Top Ben that asked Dino kind of afterwards his kind of thoughts on what Zoran said and if he agreed or disagreed. And he was kind of on the back foot of that. He didn't necessarily agree to that point for what it was worth. He's like, listen, I think you bring anybody to the States, it's a little bit different. It may not be the first city on their list when they think of cities, but when they come to Charlotte or when they come over, from across the pond and see Charlotte, I think that they would realize how much there is or just a culture that they would enjoy. And he kind of seemed to think stars would come to Charlotte. I'm just curious, not necessarily about the comments, but, well, I guess I am curious about the comments. What did you guys maybe think about that, or how does that make you, kind of feel about Charlotte? It was a little bit, eye-raising, I would say, if anything, for your GM to say that. But any thoughts there, guys?
I would say, I mean, yeah, I do think, like what you said, if you have a guy coming over from Europe, Charlotte's probably not where he's going to, he's going to look at your New York cities. He's going to look at your LAs. He's going to look at your Miami. He's going to look at those big cities that have all you hear about in Europe is go there. I mean, people don't leave Europe to come to Charlotte. People leave Europe to go to New York City.
True. That's inherently true.
But I do think Charlotte is an up-and-coming city. We're a rather young city. There's lots of good things happening. And I think if you get that player, you start that conversation and be like, hey, just come over and check it out. I think we have the guys on the team now that can sell the city. And I think if you get them to a home game, the crowd definitely can sell the stadium and sell the
That's
team.
The point right there.
So I think you just have to get them to at least just give us a chance.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be your first one, but just give us a chance to see what we got. And I definitely think we're not, like you said, we're not going to be the top 3 on somebody's list, but hey, give us 4 or 5 and come check us out.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what the World Cup just does in general for the league and what that does for Charlotte. After the '94 World Cup in the United States, MLS was birthed out of that.
Right there. Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of positive momentum. And, one thing that I'm thinking about is the Scotland national team training at our facilities. maybe we attract a Scottish player or something like that.
Hashtag bagpipes, baby.
Yeah. And I know Dino's got some connections with the Scottish national team. So, I get what Zoran's saying. I don't know that we will fully understand what the impact of the World Cup will be.
Sure. Yeah, very good points all across. And I really liked your point there, Amy, as well about the fans at the end of the day. Like, I kind of took a little bit of offense to it because, like, come to this city and watch these fans, sit in those seats and cheer as loud as we do. I mean, we have, one of, I think, second in the league as far as attendance still from the last 4 seasons. And I mean, we have a very core group, I would say, at this point of fans that show up and show out every single game. And I think that is something that attracts more people than necessarily the city that's on the nameplate, so to speak, at the end of the day. And the quality is there. I mean, obviously, our team has progressed from 10th to 8th to 5th to 4th, right? I mean, we've been consistently getting better and better. And the money that's been spent, I think, has been smart for the most part. You can maybe leave a bot out of that, but
you didn't have to go there.
yeah, that was a low blow. Sorry about that, Leo. But
we know that's money wasted.
But in any case, like, for the most part, we have been a I would say, ran club that is seemingly bringing more money in than losing it. And I would think that would attract certain stars, maybe a Mohamed Salah. I know you guys would love that, right? So I do understand the sentiment, and maybe him being European, he's just a little bit more matter of fact and didn't necessarily mean it in a derogatory way, the way that it maybe came off. But it was, I was a little bit taken aback when I read the comment, and I was like, people will come to Charlotte if we have a good football club. I'm sure people want to come play with that.
I mean, think about Thomas Mueller going to Vancouver.
Great example.
It's not a soccer hotbed.
No.
Right.
So I think there's going to be opportunities for us to attract some stars.
Well, and I think, thank goodness we have the gaffer we have now, because I do think Dino brings so much to the table.
Yes.
I mean, he's known in England. He has so many connections. So many coaches know him. Players know him. So I think we definitely have the right person managing our team to also help with that. Getting the players over here and just having the conversations, because if he can have that conversation and get them to come over and try, then I think we have enough people that can make the point of sale, if you will.
There we go. Exactly. The art of the deal. I don't think we need to touch much more on that, but at least wanted to bring it up and see what everybody thought and kind of agree with all of you there. Amy, what we got on? So Crown Legacy Spotlight, Tom, what do we got?
Well, we're going to still spotlight the Legacy because Charlotte FC, they did show up last time, but the Legacy now has raised they're number 2 in the power rankings. They're behind the Houston Dynamo.
I got to know what Houston's doing to be in front of them right now.
I don't think they're doing. I know Houston's number 2 in the MLS Next Pro right now.
They're both undefeated.
Yes, they're both undefeated. But the Legacy is the best in the MLS with their 14+ goal differential. So
correct. Okay.
Last game, well, just real quick, they won 3-0. It's a slow start, scoreless first half. We had 3 separate goal scorers. Our homegrown boy, Nympha, did his thing again. He scored his 4th of the season. It's his 4th straight match with the goal. Mm-hmm. And he just got called up to the U.S. Men's Under-19 team.
Thanos, I am inevitable.
So let's go, Nympha. Aloko also scored his 6th goal of the season. He has a total goal contribution tally to 8 through 4 matches, 6 goals, 2 assists. He also scored in his 4th straight match.
I can't even do that on FIFA with my creative player.
And he was called up to the Benin national team, but we haven't been able to see if he got any time or anything like that. But kudos to Loco. And then, Tiger Small's little brother, Magic, he also got a goal.
Magic Small.
Magic and Tiger.
Yeah.
Wow. Tyler Miller, he is a first-team goalkeeper. He made his club debut with his appearance in the starting 9 at that game. And the Crown Legacy kept their second straight clean sheet. So Legacy ended the month of March with a 4-0 record, 12 points, a +14 goal differential, best in the MLS Next Pro. If you haven't checked them out and you want to go see Nympha and Aloko score in their 5th game of their 5th match, Friday night's your night, 7 p.m. at the Matthews Sportsplex. They play Atlanta United again. It was a pretty good game until they went down to 10 and they did draw a red card. So, but then it opened up the game. So,
get out there to Plex. Get out there.
Absolutely.
Remember, it's free.
Yeah, free game Friday night. That's 4-3, I guess, April 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Matthews Sportsplex. Yeah, it'd be a great time. What a team so far. Like I said, they are absolutely inevitable. I was watching the YouTube of that game, and the announcer was just basically saying this team is absolutely ruthless. That's who they are right now. So what a team to watch. That's our next generation potentially right there. So get out there and enjoy.
And Dino did make a comment. I saw something this week about Nympha and Aloco maybe getting why we haven't seen them on the first team, and it's all about roster restrictions.
That's all it is.
Which is super unfortunate because those guys are making it happen. But hey, Pat and our boy, what was his name?
Yuri
Shavarsh. They also were on Legacy for a while, but I think they also were part of the squad on the first team. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are brought up in the summer window.
Yeah.
Good chance. I think a lot's happening in the summer. We'll have to talk about
that. That's if Nympha doesn't go overseas. So
yeah, please don't. Please stay with Sarnic
we'll see.
a little bit. Sweet. And then kind of moving into our next, we didn't put a crown on. Let's go ahead and put a crown on that last episode, Gabby. Yep. But into the next one, of course, it's typically around the league. But as I mentioned before, obviously no games in the MLS last week. So nothing to report there. That means we get to move right into the match day preview. We're hitting a home run here. We're going around the bases quick. Shout out baseball season opening day that just happened. But in any case, match day preview. Amy, you kind of put this together, so I'll let you kind of take it over and tell us. Oh, sorry, caught you mid-sip there. But yeah, I'll let you take it over and kind of tell us, what to expect and where to go.
It's kind of like, whew, okay, so now.
Did that give you chill bumps?
No, you just made me a little
stepping
nervous.
up.
Yeah. All right, so Charlotte FC, we have 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses on the season. And then Philadelphia is still looking for their first win or draw. They're just got 5 losses.
Crazy.
So Charlotte FC, we have 10 goals for, 6 goals against. We are the +4 goal differential. 8 points, 4th place. We're only 2 points out of second. We would actually land in third because there's 2 teams tied for second right now. But we'll probably do more rankings in the next few weeks coming up. So Philadelphia, they've only scored 3 goals. They've given up 9 goals. That's a -6 goal differential. And like we said, they have 0 points there.
Where does that get them? 0 points get you last place?
0 points get you last points in the MLS. So win probability, I found this. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, being what Charlotte just did at home or playing at home and being what Philadelphia's lacked so far this season. But Charlotte's win probability, do with it what you wish. 44%. Philadelphia's win probability, 30%. A draw, 26%. I don't foresee that happening, but
still pretty 2-1. Yeah, if you look at any of those win probabilities like I do, that's a pretty high number for Charlotte, honestly. So yeah, that's a good number.
Well, there you go. Take it from the guy who knows his numbers and puts money on it. Anyway, power rankings. Charlotte actually moved up in the power rankings as they should have after scoring 6 goals, but only to 12th. So we have taken 7 points in our last 3 games. Y'all think 12th is good? You think too low, too high?
I think it's a little low, but I think it's fair for the way the season has gone so far. You can't put too much stock into scoring 6 goals in the last game and just expect them to get into the top 10. They are a top 10 team. They're a top 5 team in my opinion, but at the same time, I think the ranking's fair enough for right now.
We got a couple players to watch for the season. Brian, you want to give us some players that we should watch in the pitch this Saturday?
Sure. You wanted me to really say that
I
guy's
did.
name. I like how you did that. Ezekiel Alado, he's the forward, and he joined for a team record $4.5 million, and he's looking to provide some firepower to the attack. That
doesn't
not
look
much
like it's happening yet.
Gone so well right now. And then Gavin Sullivan, the 16-year-old high-profile future Man City product, will be somebody to watch too. It'll be cool to see him on the pitch.
Absolutely. And then, kind of what's going on, right? I mean, obviously, so kind of a stat for you guys. If you watch my TikTok, you've already seen this. Shout it out. But in any case, so Philadelphia 0-5 or 0-5-0, however those columns go. They haven't won a game. They haven't drawn a game, right? 0 points so far. They are the first team in the last decade, probably beyond that, but I only did research for a decade. Didn't want to spend more time doing it. So at least over the last decade, the only team to not record a single point through the first 5 games of the following season after winning a supporter shield the season before. So obviously a lot is probably going on in Philadelphia right now. mainly it's the attacking firepower that you just alluded to, right? There just isn't. It's not there. What'd you say? They had 4 goals in 5 games so far, or something like that.
I mean,
three goals in 5 games. You're not gonna win a lot of games that way, right?
I think a 0.6 like goals per game average.
That's 3 divided by 5. I got that. Yep, that makes sense. But it's not enough, right? You're not going to win with less than a goal per game. I mean, you really aren't going to win too many with less than at least 1.5 per game.
Sure.
So they're well behind the 8 ball, so to speak. There, their calling card has always been their press, right? They run a 4-4-2 formation almost exclusively. That's been the same, staples since even the Jim Curtin days, right? But they just kind of stick to that base 4-4-2. Not a lot of teams do that anymore. They do that, but then they usually bring a midfielder kind of up from the midfield, and they're really known for their press. That player has always been Quinn Sullivan, Cavan's brother, the guy you mentioned. And Quinn obviously got hurt at the very end of last season, tearing his ACL. He's out probably this whole season. Maybe he comes back around I
think maybe I saw end of summer.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a longer season, and so perhaps he could come back after the World Cup. We'll see. But without him being able to lead that press, you just haven't seen it. That's how they score their goals. They get the ball so far up the pitch, it's one pass and they're in. And when that's not happening, they're not able to build from the back the way that they're kind of having to do right now, sitting in that low 4-4-2 block. And so I think that's the biggest issue that I can see from Philadelphia. Don't know if you guys have anything else to add to that, but that is. Yeah.
I mean, they're super young. Jim Curtin was the coach there for 11 years. Now they have this new guy, Bradley Cornell, trying to figure out how to take their high press type of game style that they've always played, but having a younger group that has to execute that. And I also think important fact to say is they've trailed 214 of the 360 minutes of soccer they've played. If you're behind that many minutes, you're not going to. I mean, you're going to be chasing the game, so that also kind of takes you out of what your norm is within the team. So
absolutely,
yeah. I think they're probably in transition with their squad and with their program, just in general. New coach. We actually have their their general manager, not their general manager, but the guy that kind of constructs the roster is now Charlotte. I can't remember his name, but at any rate, they promote through their academy.
Right.
I mean, their highest paid player is $4.5 million. So, I mean, that's different from what they're normally doing. So, I think they're in transition. Also, they played in the CONCACAF Championship.
That's true.
So they played Club America twice. They lost 1-0 and drew the other time, but they were eliminated. So I wonder if they had a little bit of focus on the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Because they were Supporters Shield champions last year.
There have been a handful of teams that are in that or were in the CONCACAF that have kind of gotten off to slower starts on the season than we would have expected. Obviously, not this slow for a team, right? But that is something to watch, I guess, potentially, is teams try to integrate that in. It's new to they're basically getting right back in the season and already having to play 2 games a week, and so that is difficult to navigate. Amy, anything else to add to what's going on in Philly, or perhaps what's going on in Charlotte on the other side?
We just have the State of the Union, Philly's crisis versus the Crown.
How about that?
Charlotte's strong start. The Crown sits in 4th place in the East. We talked about, and we coming off that dominant victory. I think this weekend it's a key story to see. Does Philadelphia continue their winless streak? Yes, they do.
That's a spoiler. We'll get to that later.
Sorry that you're going to have your 6th consecutive loss. I just think I don't see a lot of things changing for them really quickly, especially away. I think they might be able to get some momentum if they're playing at home, but you're not coming to the Fortress and doing stuff like that. And we know the Fortress is the Fortress. So hopefully Zaha and Biel will show up. I do know Philadelphia does have their record signing $4.5 million player, Ezekiel Alado, like you said. Nice. But he's a question mark because he's been sidelined recently for not making good choices, disciplinary actions. So we'll see what happens. And then your series history, we're perfectly level, 3 wins apiece and 2 draws, but Charlotte's won the most recent meeting on Decision Day in October 2025 with a 2-0 victory. So
we watched that one, dude. I watched that. I wasn't here. Never mind. I did watch that one. I was texting you guys, but So even series so far. Obviously, Philadelphia is a team that generally speaking, is pretty good. Obviously, upper echelon. They won the Supporter Shield last year, so this is a very difficult kind of game to figure out, or to kind of try to handicap, so to speak. But at the end of the day, the keys to the game for me are really just, and you hate to put it on one player, but it is kind of Quinn Sullivan, in my opinion, right? We've seen what they've done with and without him, and I even remember, kind of watching them last year as they were on their road to winning the Shield. He was obviously their most important, most influential player throughout. He's the one that led that break. He's very similar to Pep Biel, not in the goal scoring way that Pep Biel does it, but just in the leading that press and getting things off on the right foot. He does that for that team, and they are just so reliant on that. Not to mention they did have a pretty good goal scorer in Ty Barabo last year that they don't have this year. I guess we're relying on people like Alado and some of these new players that just haven't been able to pan out quite yet. Not to say that they won't, but certainly haven't seen it so far. And so the key to the game to me is just to fight fire with fire, right? Let's go be that press team. Let's go do that to them. Teams that like to press don't like to get pressed a lot of the time, right? And so I think it really comes from that defensive midfield that we saw in the last game, that partnership between Westwood and Gianni to me. I hope that that's the same midfield that we see this week. They were
why
both.
Change it up?
Why change that after 6 goals? I doubt they do, but that is kind of what I want to see is, again, Pep leading the press from the top. Those two kind of forming in behind and kind of being those connectors. If we see anything close, even 80% of what we saw on the field from last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago, I guess, I just don't see it being too close personally. But that's kind of my keys. What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
So, I feel like we score early. We're going to put this game to bed early. I don't really want to see them hang around. I think that just grows their confidence. I am a little bit concerned about this game.
Hungry dog runs faster, potentially?
Yeah, potentially. Sometimes we play down to the level. I'm a little worried there's a bye week.
Come out flat.
History tells us that sometimes we don't play the greatest against these teams, but I think an early goal puts them away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
My key to the game is Philadelphia. They have nothing to lose, but to lose again on Saturday. So I think Charlotte, if we come out like we did, if we play, I agree with you. If our guys that we know can play and see the field and distribute the ball, if we possess when it's a good time for us to possess and press when we need to press and get that counterattack going, I don't really see Philadelphia giving us much to worry about. I do worry about it being a slight trap game just because of the break and everything. But we're at the Fortress, so if the fans bring it, they like to bring it. And I really think that Red Bull games I'm hoping we can look back at that point in the season and say this is when we turned it around. It really everything started clicking on all cylinders. So I think everything we need to do is what we have been doing. So
absolutely, no need to add more to that, but it is exactly that, right? This could be, I wouldn't even call it a trap game because again, they are the defending Supporter Shield champions, and so you have to take them for what that is. But again,
they were a very different team.
They are a different team. They're missing, like I said, Barabo, and not missing, he's gone. And then missing Quinn Sullivan. Those are the two. Glasness, correct. I mean, so they are missing players from all phases.
Yeah, Ben Bender, homecoming.
Shout out Ben, coming back to the Fortress.
Sit on the bench.
Absolutely. All right, and obviously that leaves us with only one piece left. It is our prediction time for the game. If you guys have been listening along, we probably don't have too many surprises here, but I still would like to hear from everybody. And of course, we have Maddie back here rocking the new jersey that we got at the last game. Look at that thing. That is a beauty if I've ever seen one. Shout out Charlotte for the giveaway last week. But Maddie, I guess we'll start with you in that beautiful jersey. What do we got for a prediction this week?
I have 7-0.
Holy cow! You're just coming back out. Put the touchdown on the board.
Record for the team.
And then
got 6 last week. We got it. Yeah, you're only going up. So yeah. All right. Who scored?
Your scores: Vargas, and then Pat with a brace. Zaha,
Should be that.
Toke, Archie, and Burr.
Nice.
I like it. I like it.
All right,
Bernie
all right.
scoring this week. You've been asking for that for a long time now, so I really,
You might cry.
really,
It's so close.
I really want to see Bernie get himself a goal.
Maddie
Really,
might
just for
cry.
you.
We might all cry.
Yeah, I was
We
gonna say,
might all
I
cry
will be
for
right
Becky.
there with her if that happens. So that's a great one. So 7-0 to start out. I don't know who wants to follow that. We'll let Brian try to though.
All right, yeah, that's hard to follow up. But my high school soccer coach, he would say you need to smash a gnat with a sledgehammer. So I think we smashed that gnat this coming weekend, and we go 3-0.
Are you saying smash that net or smash?
Smash the
Like
net.
a little
Oh, I
net.
was like, you're
Net.
saying net really
Sledgehammer.
weird. Like I was okay.
Net, like a
Net.
little-
Smash that net. Okay.
Smash that net.
Apologies.
GNAT.
We should start that chant at the game.
Smash
Smash
that
that
net.
net.
Smash that net. We
Yeah,
can do
I'm
that.
sure that will like.
Yeah.
It's gonna not catch
Yeah.
on.
No.
Okay. Anyway, sorry.
3-0, and I've got a brace from Toklamani, and I'm gonna say that we see your guy, our guy, Abada score.
Hey.
Oh, I thought you were going
He's been
somebody
close.
else.
He's been close.
Yeah.
He played well last game, to be
Yeah.
honest. He didn't. He really wanted to score. You could tell he just couldn't quite got the assist on one of them. But okay, so 3-0. Who you got? Abada
And a Tokla brace.
right here, baby, on the back. I can't stand up right now. I'm dog sitting a little bit. So, but yeah, so 3-0 there. Amy, you go next.
Well,
So
I'm going to go right in between the 3-0 and the 7-0, and I'm going 5-0.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think we've just opened a floodgate. And I mean, heck, if you can't, I mean, let's just bring it. So, my goal scorers, this is hard because, my boy got 2 goals. He got a brace last game. So now I feel like
Arch.
he's opened it up. I'm going to go. I think Archie's in there. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm going to go with a BL brace, Zaha, Vargas, and Goodwin.
Okay.
BL, Zaha, Goodwin. BL with the brace. Did I get that right?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry,
you
internet.
got it wrong. BL with the brace,
BL brace.
Zaha, Vargas, and Archie.
Oh, I was just missing one. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, 5, not 4. I was counting 4 in my head because that's my prediction for the week is a little bit less than those. I'm going to go 4 for the crown, of course, and 1 for Philly.
What?
They
scored 3 in 4 games, 5 games.
Yeah.
So they're due for this one.
No,
like I
they're
said,
not.
I just, until we don't have to. We
Come
all agree with that, but I got 4-1. I've got goal scorers for the week. Of course, Toke's scored. That's why we're wearing his jersey. That's why we wear it most weeks. Toke's got to get on the board. For me, BL is pretty much inevitable. Just too good, too good. So I'm gonna go with him. I am going to predict an Ashley Banger this week.
Oh, nice.
I see.
Hey,
like
I
I
have
said,
a Wesley jersey
there we go.
on.
Okay, Cap, this is for you. You're getting your goal this week. And then 4th, we're going Archie.
Yeah, man.
He's coming into the game. I mean, the 2 goals he scored last game were clinical. He could have scored a third if, Abada was offside, but that could have been almost a hattie for him coming in. Of course, Archie's getting on the board as well. And of course, Charlotte FC is getting all 3 points because we're at the Fortress. We're at home. We get those 3 points at home. Because
And we
it's
need to
what?
burn
Because
the
it's what?
For the
the
week. For the crown.
That was good. Yeah, for the crown. Yeah,
For the crown.